Welcome to On the Move, a business record effort that aims to help you hear directly from new leaders who are shaping Iowa's business community. I'm your host, Chris Conetzkey, president and group publisher of the Business Record. We've got a fantastic leader with us here today. Wendy Mihm-Herold is president and CEO of Iowa Jobs for America's Graduates, otherwise known as iJAG. Wendy joined iJAG in early 2023, and after a long career at Northeast Iowa Community College and nearly 35 years of working across public and private nonprofit sectors, she's now leading the organization. So, Wendy, welcome. And tell us a little bit about iJAG.
Well, thank you, Chris, for having me. It's so exciting to be here. And iJAG, I tell everybody it's one sentence: changing lives for students and have them career ready to go into great jobs throughout the state of Iowa. And the thing that I love about iJAG is that students are gaining employability skills, communication, teamwork, leadership, all those critical employability skills that you need to be successful, and the soft skills that go along with that, but civic and community service. And then we make sure that all of our students have hands-on work experience by the time they're done with our program.
Well, I know I can't go any place without talking about the need for workforce. It's one of the biggest needs in our community. We often spend time in that space. Tell us a little bit about the need around workforce that you've been seeing.
Well, I would tell you that there is the need in the workforce in the manufacturing industry, the healthcare industry, the STEM or STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, as well as in those trades and transportation areas. And so we at iJAG focus very specifically to make sure that we're getting students either exposure or hands-on experience in those key industry sectors. And we know that as we age, and I'm one of those young folks that is going to be retiring soon as well, it's making sure that we're finding those critical skills to be able to replace those positions.
Businesses, you partner with them all the time. Tell us a little bit about ways businesses could partner with you.
Thank you for asking that. I think iJAG doesn't exist without our partnerships with other nonprofits, with our school districts, but more importantly, our businesses across the state of Iowa. Last year alone, we had over 1,500 businesses that had over 5,000 interactions with our students in the classroom by being a guest speaker, a mentor. They have opened up their businesses for tours, making sure they have immersive job shadows, and then more importantly, that hands-on work-based learning experience, which is, it can be an internship, it can be a pre-apprenticeship, an apprenticeship, a supervised work site, it can be project-based learning where they're doing a project for the company, but it's the goal that they can actually experience the career that they've been researching and that think that they want to go into, so that they know what education and training they need. So the dollars when they go to college are spent very tightly to making sure that they're in the right field.
Do you have a good example of maybe a business or an organization you've worked with that has really benefited?
We have many examples. So I'll talk about Broadlawns. We had over 40-some students that participated in a boot camp summer where they did certified nurses aid training and also some additional certificates that went to that. And so it was paid for by grant dollars to go into the training with Broadlawns. And then multiple students have gone into employment at Broadlawns. We've had students that are continuing on at the University of Iowa that are going to be doctors. We have nurses that have continued. They can go into the apprenticeship program. That's one example. As well as I'm going to flip it over into the professional and IT business arena with Principal Financial Group. We've been partnering with them for years, and we started off with internships, immersed job shadows, and then they recently developed an apprenticeship program. And out of the 4 apprenticeships that they brought on, 3 of them are iJAG students because Principal volunteers and mentors in the classroom. They attend our career development conference. They're engaged with our immersed job shadows. And they have a staff person there that really works full time to make sure that they're partnering with iJAG. So that's a great example, from John Deere to multiple small small to medium-sized businesses as well. So it can be any size of a business that can partner with us.
If somebody has an idea, I imagine they could reach out your way, but what are some other ways that they could engage with you?
I tell you, if you haven't partnered with iJAG, one of the best ways to start is coming into our classroom and speaking with our students about your career. Or better yet, we have a career development conference. Our next one's coming up on March 26th. We bring 600 students across the state of Iowa to Des Moines at the Iowa Event Center. And what we do is we have a competition where the students are doing financial literacy pitches, public speaking, going over their business plan that they've developed while they're in our program. They're talking about mock interviewing, displaying their resume. And our competitions of what they do then, we have businesses who help judge it. So it's a great way to get to see and be empowered by the students that we serve. And it's a low time commitment. I mean, it's not a very long time committed to be able to be engaged in those activities. Or you can have a career fair booth or both. And that's where you can engage with the 600 students that are there, because we have our competition. We have a opportunity for leadership training, and then we also then have the opportunity for all the students to go through the career development and some workshops. So we have a great opportunity for them to have one-on-one contact with multiple students across the state. And we do the same thing. So that career development conference is for 11th and 12th graders, and then we do the same thing for 7th through 10th grade. And that's an opportunity where they can get engaged with our students as well.
Well, and that's the age where they still don't know anything about what they want to do. So it's nice to be exposing them to a variety of different options.
Exactly. I think the best part about the 7th through 10th is that you have the opportunity to really pitch what are some of those great careers, and you hear them talk about those careers.
That's where you can make insurance exceptionally interesting. And it is, I should say. But
yes, because they're planning on what they're going to do for their classroom. Right. Because with iJAG, not only do we make sure that they have the exposure with the work-based learning, we make sure that they're on track to graduate. We're teaching those soft skills and leadership and communication teamwork by doing. So with all of our events, we have a statewide career association for officers. So on November 4th, we had 8 amazing juniors that pitched why and what they believe servant leadership is, and what leadership is, and what they would be doing to help advocate for the students. Because right now, last year we served 10,215 students. Right now we're over 11,000. So there were 1,400 individuals at the Iowa Event Center, over 1,200 students, and the rest were businesses and our staff that are there for the day. And these 8 young leaders stood up in front of that audience, and some of the pitches were better than some adult pitches that I've heard. And they only have a couple minutes to say what their impact is going to be.
You've been expanding the impact of iJAG, and I know as you're thinking about the future for the organization, maybe give some of your priorities here in the future and how you're looking to expand the mission.
So when I was hired, the goal was to grow iJAG, to look at having sustainability structures and processes in place, as well as really looking at what are we doing for the development of our staff, because as we talked about the war on talent, we're the same way. You can't expand without having the talent, because in each program, so since I started, we were at 130 programs. We're now at 202 programs across the state of Iowa. We had 4,442 students. Last year we served 10,215, so we've doubled in size. And this year alone, we'll be well over 11,000, almost 11,500. And so you have to have students that want to be in the program, school districts who want to partner with us, and you have to have that return on investment. So what we've been doing and focusing on is with our talent is to make sure that we take care of our staff. So we have an amazing onboarding program and mentorship program. Right now we're close to 230 staff. And so we had to recruit.
Right.
For each program is one staff member, because they teach 5 days a week.
So you're living and breathing the workforce challenges, right?
Absolutely. And we're actually developing our own internship, pre-apprenticeship program for iJAG as well. And I can't tell you, it's not easy, but that relentless opportunity to look at what's your hiring process, how are you onboarding, how are you training, How do you care about your employees? How do you lean into that servant leadership to know that we're here for the mission about serving Iowa, to make sure that we're getting a talented workforce, and to make sure that our students are successful and that we're changing lives and making sure that they have a purpose. So we've leaned into our mission, we've leaned into our purpose, and we have completely developed our organization on what's going to be for sustainability to the next level. So right now I feel amazingly well about every measure that we've put in place. Moving forward into the future, we're experimenting with looking at doing an online programming. And that's going to be a little challenge because everything's hands-on and with skills, but looking at that. We have partnered with the public charter schools. We're looking at doing some after-school STEM iJAG programming for students. We're looking at stop-in services. We most recently have been in the innovation space that we're working with Great Oaks, who have students who have stopped out of high school and bringing them back in. So we're really looking at how we can continue to grow that across the state. So we do have an innovation pillar where we test some of them. Yeah. Some have been wildly successful and we're expanding, and some of our pilots, we were trying that 4-day school and 1 day doing iJAG. That didn't work so well. Students didn't want to come on their day off. So we're trying different things that we can make sure that we're innovative and staying connected. What do our school districts need? What do our state need to be successful?
If there was something that would help kind of add rocket fuel to your plans, what could that look like for you? I originally was going to ask as a blank check, and money is sometimes part of it, but what would the something be to help iJAG really expand its mission?
There's a few things. Number one, not a blank check, but having the ability to have additional dollars, because we're funded by state, public, private, and currently we do not receive very limited federal dollars. But for every program, the 202 programs, we have to raise $20,000 for those. So having some additional sustainable dollars that we're able to do that, and those dollars would help us propel to continue to develop our curriculum and technology. I really want to look at AI in what we're doing and how does that implement into the classroom, looking at how we can continue to expand. We partner with Covey and looking at doing some micro-credentials, and we're partnering with the Cooter navigation system and their technology. We're developing a connect to business model where you're able for businesses to make it easy. So we connect the businesses and the students together, and that's fueled by resources. So we've got the framework, we just need that fuel to get it to skyrocket to get to that next level.
I can tell you're passionate about the topic yourself. What about your background, and is this your place to be really diving into?
I think it's really important as a leader, and you've learned this through years. I spent a lot of my life working towards a goal. You have to live in the here and now. You have to make sure you have a purpose and lean into that purpose. And so this job fuels me, because I see these students when I go out and meet with them in the classroom or having an events, that one person really can make a difference. And somebody that cares about them, that welcomes them into the classroom, they have peer support. So every one of our programs have that. We have a caring adult, we have a welcoming environment, we have peer support activities, because everything that we do is hands-on, so you're growing a community within yourself, and then also meaningful activities. And so I see that, and I see those outcomes and return on investment, so that just puts me on fire. And I tell people, if you feel like you're going to work, you're not in the right position. You gotta feel like it's not work. It's where you are able to give back. I believe in every day coming to work, it's about caring about people. It's leaning into your servant leadership side, because it's not about me. At the end of the day, it's about the student. It's about making sure we have caring staff that are taking care of them, and that we're meeting the state's goals, and that we're doing it together in partnerships.
Well, part of our goal here, you're not necessarily brand new in your role, or brand new to the community, but understanding who you are a little bit is always helpful for people. So we're going to do a couple little quick rapid fire questions, so just so people get to know who you are. Okay. You all ready to go? I know this is the part that everybody's always nervous about.
Makes me nervous, but you know what?
All right.
We'll do well.
So this is our 1 minute warning. We'll do it really quick. What's one thing people will find you doing in your free time?
Walking. That's what what I do to unwind. And if I don't get my walk in, it's where I unwind, think, and listen to podcasts.
Okay, what podcast?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. I have Brene Brown's, I have Adam Grant's, I listen to McKinsey, I listen to a lot of economic development. Probably not, most people would think that's not fun, but for me it is.
So I've got Freakonomics teed up. I've got to drive home tonight. That's what I'll be listening to. So.
I love listening to anything that's a bit of optimism from Simon Sinek. So anything on leadership, growth that can help me be better at what I do each day.
All right, biggest business pet peeve that you have?
Oh, I can't. We can't. It doesn't work. We've done that before. Oh, continuous quality improvement is something everybody should be doing all the time and learning from the past and what you can do better. Because Lori Phelan set an amazing organization and she grew it and worked her tail off. And it's about learning from the past, but also continuous quality improvement. We can't do what we did 5 years ago the same way, especially how technology and life has changed so rapidly.
All right, so podcast, but if music was playing, what's a song or artist that you'd have on in the background?
Oh my goodness. Well, my daughter-in-law would love it if I said Taylor Swift. And I did start listening to Taylor Swift. Oh, I listen to country. I like all genres. So I don't really know.
We'll put a podcast on about the economy.
Yeah, if you put
Sound
a podcast
on
about the economy or something on leadership, I'd probably rather listen to that.
All right, name a business book maybe that you're reading or something you think people should read.
There's 3 books I'm listening to right now while I'm walking, and it's Strong Ground by Brene Brown. I would recommend that to anybody. I'm also reading John Evie's You're Invited in Team Intelligence. I am really impressed with that because it's about community. And I think we're all, and especially as leaders, we need to make sure that we're building community because our world needs us so badly right now.
All right, last one. Favorite bite of food in Des Moines or Iowa, something that you'd reach for?
Oh, boy. I would tell you it's actually in Ankeny, and it's an Italian restaurant, and I'm blanking on the name of it, but I had the best shrimp pasta that I think I've ever had in my life. Good. And the bread and something fettuccine. It's been there for a long time. I'm not.
We'll throw it in the show notes that way.
Okay,
we'll figure it out after
Love
this.
it.
All right, last thing. Anything else that we should have asked you about that you'd like to make sure the audience knows?
I just think it's really important to know that iJAG wouldn't exist without partnerships, and we don't take that lightly. It's about collaboration. It's not about credit, and it's about making sure that we're working with the state to help meet the state's priorities and needs and the school district's priorities and needs. And so it's just been such a humbling honor to have a statewide organization that continues to expand. And I just met with Lieutenant Governor, and she told me she was talking with somebody, and one of the businesses said, I just invested in partnering with them, and tell me more why you think we should all partner. So I think that's great. And can I leave you with one success story? This young lady, her name is Lexi. She lacked some confidence in herself, belief in herself, and she came into our program and she competed in public speaking. The first year she competed, she didn't make it to state. The second year she competed, she was number 1. She went nationally to our national competition and competed. She didn't win, but she didn't stop there because we teach tenacity, adaptability, resiliency. And she went and presented at the University of Iowa to be the freshman speaker, and she was chosen.
Well,
what a better
Her
success.
name, so.
Yeah, she's amazing, by the way.
Well, good. Thank you for telling us a little bit about iJAG. I enjoyed getting to meet you and know you a little bit better today. Thanks for joining us for On the Move. I'm so grateful to have so many fantastic new leaders in this community, and glad that you've gotten a chance to get to know Wendy better today. And I know that you'll find a way to help continue to welcome her and iJAG's mission into the community. We know one of the secrets to this community's success is the way we connect on a personal level with each other. So do me a favor, as Wendy is on the move, find a way to lend her an extra hand as she works to shape our future generations of leaders. Thank you again for watching. Again, I'm Chris Conetzkey, President of the Business Record, and I'll see you next time for On the Move.